Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about the performance testing. One of the non-functionality testing comes under system testing. The agenda of this session is to get the knowledge on performance testing, to know what are the dependent factors for performance, what kind of performance testing tools are available in the market, and different types of performance testing techniques. What is performance testing? It is one of the non-functionality testing technique comes under system testing. The objective of the performance testing is to find speed, scalability, and stability of the application. These are the major object of performance testing: speed, scalability, and stability. Speed means how much time application will take to complete particular transaction. That means you click on a link to load that page, how much time it will take. That's the speed. Scalability. Will application allows customer expected concurrent users are load? We have to check. Concurrent users means at a time users are going to perform the operation. Let us see if I go for the any online meeting application. Application says that go to meeting application. If I go, it will allows maximum 251 members at a time can join the meeting. Now we have to check is that application allows 251 members or not to join the meeting at a time. Is that scalable or not at that load? That is scalability. Next thing, stability. Will application supports uneven or sudden loads or not? Suppose if I go for the e-commerce applications, in customer sessions, more users are going to be operate the applications. The heavy loads, sudden load increased, whether application is able to accessible or not. We have to check. That is called stability. The major objective or goal of the performance testing is to find bottlenecks of the system. Bottlenecks means the factors which may degrade performance of the application, those to identify. But what are the major things we are going to consider during the performance testing? Speed, scalability, and stability. Speed means how much time it will take to complete particular transaction. Scalability, will application allows expected concurrent users or load. Stability, when sudden load increment or decrement is there, how application responds, we have to check it is. These are the factors. What are the performance dependent factors? Performance dependent factors. There are two things are there. One is client side, other one is server side. Client side, response time. That means how much time it is taking. If you go for the request given, how much time it is taking your application to give the response to you. There is a response time. Suppose if I go for the Google, you search Selenium, you enter, click on the search button. How much time it is taking to give the result to you, search result. There is a response time. Throughput. How many number of transactions it allows in a specified amount of time. Throughput means how many transactions it allows or request it allows in a specified time. There is a transaction per second, TPS, transaction per second. That means if you go for the banking application, net banking application, more users are going to operate in a specified time. How many requests going to accept? That is the throughput we are going to call. If I go for a database, an example, throughput is measured in terms of a number of queries processed in given time. If I go for server side, resource utilization, CPU, second one, memory usage, network, and disk IO. That the server side resource utilization, we can say it is. CPU means is the sum of work handled by a central process unit, which is measured in general in terms of megahertz. Memory usage. It is also how much memory consumed to perform the specific task by your application. That is RAM in terms of megabytes. Network. That depends on the bandwidth consumed by an application under test. Disk IO. Input output IO means it is the speed with which the data transfer takes place between the hard disk drive and RAM. Now, in general, in our system also, if you observe that, in our system also, you can see these factors. Let me check. If I go for the right click here, taskbar, you can see task manager. In this, you have the performance. You can see CPU utilization, which applications are running, how much CPU it going to use in terms of megahertz or hertz in terms of gigahertz. It's showing that same way. Memory usage is there, how much memory, disk IO, at which bandwidth it is. Okay, the performance. So these things we are going to call monitors. Graphs are nothing but monitors. Now shows that there is a CPU utilization in terms of hertz, memory uses in terms of bytes, like that, megabytes, or you can go for gigabytes like that. The dependent factors: client side response time throughput, server side CPU, memory usage, network, disk IO. In general, organization is going to maintain separate team to do the performance testing. After functionality testing, separate team is going to do the performance testing. But manually it is difficult to perform. Because of that, we use some tools for performance testing like load runner, web load, JMeter, Silk Performer, Rational Robot Performer. Then the different kind of tools are available in the market. Whereas JMeter is the free tool, like Selenium, non-commercial tool. Remaining are commercial tools. Compared to the functionality testing tools, performance testing tools are expensive. Now we'll see what are the different kind of performance testing techniques are there. Load testing, stress testing, spike testing, soak or endurance testing, data volume testing. The other different kind of performance testing techniques are there. What is load testing? This load testing also called as scalability testing. Load testing or scalability testing. What is the intention here? Verify application allows customer expected load on customer expected configuration system. Suppose the application should allow the 1000 users to do particular transaction. Now here gradually we are going to increase 100 users, 200 users, 300 users, up to 1000 users. We are going to check is it allowing or not to do the transactions that much load. That in this test, by increasing load gradually we check behavior of the application. The objective of this testing is to check response time, how application is going to give the response time, specified time it's going to complete or not. And a scenario here, log into net banking like ICICI Bank application with increasing multiple users load, 2000 users, 3000 users, 4000 users, but expected login within 6 seconds. Is it completing or not? We have to check it is. So this is what the load testing. Next one, stress testing. Stress testing is to find the peak limit of the load. It involves testing an application under extreme workloads to see how it handles high traffic or data processing. The objective is to identify breakpoint or peak limit of the load. Now, log in the application maximum load and more than the capacity. Maximum load is 10,000 users, it said. But what they do here, 10,000 users is allowing, okay. But beyond that limit, they try to test what extent we can use the application in case in emergency. Further, we increase the load another 1000 users, 11,000 users, working fine. Again, you increase. Somewhere it start degrading performance. That point we are going to say so breakpoint or peak limit of load. Spike testing. Spike. What is spike means? You may see hairstyles are going to be like this. Okay, spikes. That is uneven. Okay. So if you go for in terms of load time, so suddenly you have the increment in the load and decrement. So this type of things. If you have how application response, we have to check it is. There is the test software's reaction to sudden large spikes in the load generated by users. Generally, e-commerce applications, whenever they are going to announce the offers, what will happen? Suddenly load increment will be there and decrement will be there. If I go for Amazon, they may going to give the offers like this. Every hour, they are going to give new offers or deals are going to be given. So first 5 minutes, heavy users are going to upgrade. Again, they are going to drop. Next hour, again users are going to increase like that. That is a spike testing are going to call. Sudden load 1000, 7000, again drop 2000 like this. There is a spike testing we are going to say. Then soak or endurance testing. Soak or endurance testing. Soak or endurance testing. So maybe dresses are going to soak in the detergent water. Soaking time. Okay. Now that is the same way here. Soak or endurance means. But here, so soaking in terms of load. Continuously we are going to operate the application longer periods of time. That we are going to call soak or endurance testing. It is done to make sure the software can handle the expected load over a long period of time. Suppose if I go for the GoToMeeting online application. So maximum they said 251 members. Yes, it is allowed. 251 members are joined, including me. 250 participants are joined. Now, how much time continuously I can take the session? 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours? There should be some limitation. That to find to go for the SOCA endurance testing. So maximum limit 2 hours. Okay. It is done to make sure the software can handle the expected load over a long period of time. Depends on the organization, depends on the application. The SOC duration is going to be varies. If you go for the scenario like this, if you work in an organization where the production systems are shut down and restart every night, then what is the time of SOC testing here? So it is 24 hours. 24 hours continue if you run the application. Is there any memory leakage that we have to check? The another scenario here, if your application is restarted weekly as a part of maintenance, only weekly once, then the soak duration is going to be 7 days. It is soak test need last 7 days. It is. What about some applications which are going to run 24/7 by 365? Like if I go for the net banking applications which are going to work continuously, but this kind of application they are not going to test 1 year continuously here. They will take like 3 days test like this, or 2 overnight cycles, or 3 day test, or 5 day test, like that they are going to consider, they are going to test it is. That's the so-called endurance testing. Next one, volume testing. To identify whether the server can handle more number of high complex queries under significant load. It is a little bit like database related. The main intention is to observe how the database acts under various circumstances. How database acts under various circumstances. More number of high complex queries under significant load. The particular load, so it going to allow or not, we have to check it is. This is what the volume testing we are going to call. That the different kind of performance testing techniques are there. Performance testing techniques are different. Performance test factors are different. Performance test factors: speed, scalability, and stability. Test factors: speed, scalability, and stability. Performance testing techniques are load or scalability testing, stress testing, spike testing, soak or endurance testing, volume testing, also called data volume testing in terms of kilobytes per second. Data volume testing measures kilobytes per second like this. But what are the dependent factors of the performance of application? Client side, we have the server side. Client side, response time, throughput. If you go for the server side, CPU utilization, there is a resource utilization, CPU, memory, then network, then disk IO. Okay, the other things which you need to remember. Thank you. Try to subscribe my channel. We'll see in the next session remaining non-functionality testing techniques. Thank you.